Today News Update.
From the Barbados Today Newsroom, this is your evening news update for Wednesday, June 15. So glad you could join us. The managing director of the International Monetary Fund got a first-hand view of some of the infrastructure challenges and development concerns for Barbados as she learned from Prime Minister Mia Mottley of some of the plans the country is pursuing. Accompanied by government ministers and other officials along with the IMF team, they went on a tour of selected areas across the island as they discussed several issues relating to development and financing. With another expected active hurricane season currently in play, Prime Minister Mia Mottley used the opportunity to point out to the IMF boss of the island's need for improvement in the housing stock if the country is to be spared the worst from a hurricane system.
They all started to build these flat roofs. And what was supposed to be a temporary fix became a standard across the country. If this country is hit for 4, 5, 6 hours, or worse than that, like Dorian in Bahamas, that hit for 2 days, we will lose 70% of our low-income housing stock.
Because of the
roofs. And that's why we are now, here's William right there, he has been leading a program for me to try and get the hurricane straps in. But even with the hurricane straps, the truth is we have to hope that we get nothing more than a category 2 hurricane. But anything above category 3 to 5, your wish is us. You know, you just have to pray. So, ironically, those gable roofs, they stay because of the pitch and because of the hip roof. So we have to get back people building that kind of roof in order to be able to
Could you make it a standard?
That's what we're trying to for new houses.
Another major talking point on the tour was the government's plan to develop the agricultural sector to ensure food security and help the island to cope in an environment of rising food prices.
Food is precious.
Exactly.
And it's linked to nutrition security because as we've been importing more processed food, our NCDs, non-communicable diseases, have exploded. And it's causing us a fiscal crisis on health as well as on the fact that we haven't got cheap food.
But the whole world is not just here. The whole world is faced with very high energy and food prices. And that is a problem that is going to be with us this year, very likely next year.
Yep.
So we all have to work
together and work together.
The international organizations have responsibility, national governments have responsibilities, citizens have responsibilities, so we don't turn this into a crisis.
In other news this Wednesday, Copa Airlines is back after a 2-year break due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Around 1:35 p.m., the airline, piloted by Barbadian captains Chetwin Clark and Mark Holford, touched down at the Grantley Adams International Airport to a grand welcome. Barbados Tourism Marketing Inc.'s director for the Caribbean and Latin America, Corey Garrett, says the return of the carrier opens up big opportunities for Barbados.
We were very happy today to report a 79% load factor coming out of the Panama City. And we do look forward as we work with the Copa family to maintain that average year in and year out. What is also notable today is that we have landed a bigger plane than we landed in 2018. And that also now provides further opportunities for Destination Barbados and, of course, our neighbor Panama to work from a more commercial or investment standpoint. What do I refer to? Cargo. We now have a cargo hole where we can increase the exportation between Barbados and Panama and, of course, create many more commercial linkages as we work deeply to even grow the leisure tourism business.
The Chief Executive Officer of the BTMI, Hans Trainhart, says the return of the airline is another big step for the tourism sector.
And now as we're getting out of the COVID pandemic, I think we need to look at how can we promote Barbados differently and really telling these stories, connecting people to the local experiences, and making sure that we make these small businesses the heroes as they are, because those are the ones that really make the destination, and that's what people want to connect with. It's the small little experiences that go beyond the beach and really that make people stay longer than just for a couple days.
Stop Abusing the Elderly. The immediate past president of the Seroptimus International of Barbados, Ramona Stewart, issued the call today during activities to mark World Elder Abuse Awareness Day. She told Barbados Today while the issue is still a taboo topic, there are far too many cases of elder abuse.
It is disturbing that persons take the opportunity to abuse our elderly financially, physically, socially, and even sexually. And it is horrible that it is something that happens. I know there have been reported cases, but there are many instances where the elderly refuse to speak out because they are afraid of any repercussions. So it is important that we take care of our elderly. There are instances where our elderly may be affected by early dementia and other diseases that affect their memories, and they're not being bad, disrespectful or anything like that. It's just they need to understand what they're going through and to learn how to deal with it.
Regional and international news coming up after this short break.
Pure oxygen is way more than just water. We infuse pristine water with over 1 billion tiny oxygen bubbles using our state-of-the-art process. The benefits of additional oxygen are huge, from strengthening your immune system to increasing energy levels, stamina, and sports performance. And that's not all. It also improves skin health, helps you sleep better, and reduces stress. Join the movement of people experiencing the benefits of pure oxygen. It's not hype, it's science.
To regional news in Jamaica, a tense calm lingers in the Spanish Town Market District after a deadly shootout between rival gangs on Tuesday. 3 persons were shot and killed, and another 3 injured during the incident. TVJ's Kurt Wright has an update.
I'm standing just meters away from where the shooting took place yesterday on Cumberland Road, where 3 persons were shot and killed. This morning, because of that, not many businesses have opened their doors. And most of the businesses here are wholesale, which means that you're going to have less traffic, less pedestrian. That is affecting the business people here, mainly taxi operators. The fact that the wholesales aren't open. A taxi operator said to me this morning that he's seen reduced passenger load, and that's affecting his business. Now, the people in the market, though, surprisingly, a lot of them have still come out, and when I spoke to them this morning, they say that in spite of all of that, they still have to make a living, so they came out. Some say that they're fearful, but they are watching.
I'm not afraid now. You just have to go outside and go and look out away and see what's going on, see how we see.
Now, we also spoke to the police, who says that basically they have things under control. He says that police and soldiers have saturated the area and nothing major has happened this morning. They are keeping the peace. For the most part, though, the place is quiet and things are slowly returning to normal.
Further afield, mass COVID-19 testing and neighborhood lockdowns have been reimposed in Beijing and Shanghai after new virus clusters. The strict, heavy-handed measures are taking their toll on the economy, with new data pointing to a difficult recovery. We get more from Al Jazeera Television.
Beijing authorities say they're racing against time to contain a ferocious resurgence of COVID-19. Less than a week after the capital eased virus restrictions, hundreds of new cases have been identified, all linked to this nightclub, Heaven's Supermarket. Its business license has been suspended and the owners are under investigation.
Police have launched a criminal investigation into the bar and the relevant people in charge of the bar on suspected interference with epidemic prevention.
Several other people have been charged with breaking COVID rules, including 3 men who ignored orders to isolate at home. The cluster has spread to 14 of Beijing's 16 districts and prompted mass testing in the largest, Chaoyang. The reopening of schools has been delayed.
Heaven's Supermarket Bar is located here in Sanlitun, an area of Beijing known for its nightlife, restaurants and shopping. These businesses had just reopened when this new cluster was found, and now hundreds of them have had to close their doors again until further notice.
Dozens of cases have also been recorded in Shanghai, forcing tens of thousands of people back indoors. The commercial centre emerged from a strict 2-month lockdown at the beginning of June. New economic data shows China's zero-tolerance approach to the pandemic is continuing to take a toll. In May, industrial output rose 0.7% compared to the same month last year, and property sales improved slightly. But retail sales fell 6.7%, with uncertainty weighing heavily on consumer spending.
That's news, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook, and sign up for our breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We're also on Izumi Medium bus terminals, as well as screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. You can also hear us on Capital Media HD 99.3 FM.